From North Korea to Russia, our next guest is in the center of it all. Most recently pressing Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein on whether he should recuse himself from the special counsel probe. Republican Senator Lindsey Graham sits on the Armed Services and Judiciary Committees. Welcome. Great to have you with us tonight.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so let's talk about this letter that you sent on May 31st to the Deputy Attorney General. You say these three questions you have for him. Do you consider yourself a potential witness in the Mueller investigation regarding the firing of Director Comey by President Trump? If not, why not? If so, should you recuse yourself from further interactions with and oversight of the Mueller investigation? Have you heard back from him?
No, I haven't. And why did I write the letter? The New York Times reported that Mr. McCabe, the former #2 at the FBI, that he turned over a memo he wrote about the dismissal of Mr. Comey regarding Rosenstein's involvement. So what does that tell us? That tells us that if you're going to do an obstruction of justice investigation of the president regarding Comey's firing, then you're going to have to talk to Rosenstein because it was his memo the president used to justify the firing. In other words, you can't oversee an investigation where you're going to be a witness in that investigation.
What would be your end goal then? Do you think he shouldn't be part of this investigation? And if not, what happens to him?
To get him to explain to me why he should be allowed to continue. I got a simple goal. Play it by the book. Let Mueller do his thing. Stay within the confines of his charter. When it comes to looking at Clinton email investigation and the FBI FISA warrant scandal, I don't think Rosenstein can make a good decision there because he signed the warrant application to get the FISA warrant based on the dossier prepared by a foreign agent paid for by the Democratic Party. Rosenstein's a fine man, but I'm trying to be the rule of law guy here. If you believe that Mueller should be allowed to do his investigation without interference, which I do, then how can you leave Rosenstein in charge of that investigation if he's in fact a witness? Why isn't Sessions running this investigation? Because he is part of the campaign. I don't think anybody in America hardly would accept Sessions overseeing an investigation of the campaign he was involved in. Here's the question for Rosenstein. How can you oversee an investigation where you're a key witness? Okay,
you don't give him a deadline, but what is your expectation for following up or getting some kind of answer from him?
Sooner rather than later. Based on the news reporting and based on what I know about the case, I can't believe he won't be a witness in any obstruction of justice investigation regarding firing Comey. The question is a simple one. If you're going to be a witness or potentially going to be a witness, how can you manage that investigation? I don't think you can. I'm not challenging his character. I'm not challenging his good intentions. I'm challenging whether or not he legally can go forward and oversee the Mueller investigation.
You say the Mueller investigation can continue, and you've said in the past if the president fired him or got rid of him, it would be the beginning of the end. It would be World War III. So you're not saying that the investigation needs to stop. You're saying maybe Rosenstein is not in this proper role. All right, let us know what you hear from him.
Well, I think it's important that he clears this up for the country because he legally cannot oversee an investigation where he's a key witness.
Okay, so let me ask you, there's a lot of speculation about the Inspector General report coming out within days, potentially. Do you think it's going to answer questions, give people clarity on certain issues and different key players, or do you think it's going to provoke a whole nother round of speculation?
I don't think the Inspector General's report is an adequate substitute for a special counsel to look at whether or not the Department of Justice improperly obtained a FISA warrant by using a paid informant by the Democratic Party, a foreign agent, to go to Russia and collect information against candidate Trump. I don't believe the FBI Inspector General can tell us all we need to know about the FBI agents in charge of the Clinton email investigation because he doesn't have access to all the witnesses. I'm sure he'll do a good job. But how does Rosenstein make a good decision about whether or not there should be a special counsel looking at DOJ corruption and FBI misdeeds if in fact he was one of the people asking for the FISA warrant? I don't know how in the world he has an objective view of this because he was one of the people asking the court to issue the warrant.
Who do you think should be worried about this upcoming IG report?
I think the top level of the FBI, I think McCabe needs to be worried. I think Comey needs to be worried. I think these two FBI agents who were in the tank for Clinton and hated Trump needs to be worried. And at the end of the day, what we have found is that the two FBI agents involved in looking at the Clinton email investigation had a thumb on the scale for Clinton against Trump. We also see a warrant being issued by a federal court based on a dossier prepared by a foreign agent paid for by the Democratic Party used to obtain a warrant against Carter Page, who was part of the Trump campaign, and Rosenstein was in that chain of events. let Mueller do his job, but for God's sakes, is not one Democrat in the country worried about the FISA abuse here? Is not one Democrat worried about the fact that 2 FBI agents in charge of an investigation clearly were in the tank for the person they were investigating?
Well, we'll get a look at that report soon, and we'll see who does potentially have something to worry about more concretely in the form of an indictment or something else. In the meantime, Senator, great to have you with us.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming in.